Hello everyone. Here we want to introduce you an Excel file that helps you to do AHP analyze. As you know, AHP stands for Analytic Hierarchy Process, which is a really popular method in the solving multi-criteria decision-making problems. And it's a really powerful method for solving a complex problems there. So if you open this Excel file for the first time, you may see a yellow ribbon here. This ribbon asks you a permission for enabling the macros. If you see such a ribbon, enable the content of the macros, because this Excel file is developed based on the VBA, and for using this Excel file you need to enable the content of the macros. So first you will see there is an example here. I leave this example for you have a general view of how this can be work and how you can use this Excel. So I leave this example to be there when you open this Excel. For example, you want to finding a new place, and this place can be an apartment or house you want to buy. You go and see different places to see which one is more proper and more suited for you. You choose 4 different places that may seems like that you can buy that, and you're not sure which to buy. So there are some criteria here. For example, the cost, age of the building, position of this place in the city, and so on. So based on this criteria, you want to choose one of these alternatives, one of these places, one of these houses. So you need to compare each of these alternatives based on this criteria. In AHP, as you know, we use the pairwise matrices for comparing the alternatives and to choose the best one. In the pairwise comparison, for example, I want to compare alternative option A, place A, compare place A to place B. Based on the cost, for example, if the place A has more cost than place B, I say that my desirability for buying place A is less than B, because it has more cost, and the more cost has the less desirability. Or for example, if the building A is younger than the building B, so I have more desirability to buy building A compared to building B. So I have to compare each of these alternatives based on each of these criteria and specify which one of them has more desirability. So at the end, I want to see which of these alternatives has more total desirability or has more score. I need to specify which of these criteria has more importance compared to the goal, based on the goal. For example, in my opinion, with my budget, cost has really more is really important compared to the age of the building. So if the building A has a less cost, I will sure buy that place, and I will not buy because this one is younger. I will buy that because it has a less cost. For example, if it's a little older than the place B, but the cost is reasonably cheaper than building B, I will buy building A. Building A. This bit that is younger. This bit is the older place. So we need to create a pairwise comparison matrices in order to comparing criteria together based on the goal, and comparing each of these alternatives together based on each of these criteria. So we need at least 8 matrices for each for alternatives comparison and 1 matrix for criteria comparison. If you use this Excel file, these matrices will be created automatically, and the first matrix will be the pairwise comparison of the criteria. Here we can see that the first this is the first matrix. In this matrix, I have to specify, for example, criteria cost has a 2 desirability compared to criteria age. This desirability number is specified by society who developed this algorithm, and it says we can use the number between 0 to 9, and the number 9 has the most preferred. The number is, for example, number 1 means that the cost is equal to the age. So here I guess desirability 2 means that the cost has the more desirability compared to the age, and if the number is below the 1, for example, age is 0.5, is a half desirability compared to the cost here. And so the number, if the number is less than 1, we say that this criteria or this alternative has less desirability or is less important for choosing the best place. So we have to specify each desirability here, and you have to notice that when we have the cost comparing to the cost, the same criteria, or here comparing option A to the option A, they have the same, they are identical to each other, and so we need to place number 1 in the diameter of the matrix, so they have the same desirability for the same criteria. Okay. And in the upper triangle of the matrix, we need to specify the numbers, and the lower triangle of the matrix, they are this one division to that number, to the number of the upper triangle of the matrix. They are the same, and they have to they are formulated here. So if I change the number, it will be changed automatically. So we do not need to specify the lower bound of the matrix, lower triangle of the matrix. We just need to specify the upper bound, and the Excel will automatically calculate the lower bound. And for here, after that, we need to compare each of the alternatives based on each of these criteria. For example, here, the option A has 3 desirability compared to the option B, place B, based on the cost criteria. So, place A has less cost and is cheaper compared to the place B. And place B is more expensive, need more money compared to the place A. So these are inverse to each other. It's 3, it's 1, just like this 1 divided by 3. So we need to do and compare each of these options, and compare them based on each of these criteria, and we need to compare each of these criteria based on our goal, based on what we want to do. And after we specify the numbers we can use, we can analyze, and we will see which has more score. For example, option D has more score, and we can buy the building D. This appears as you see here in the compare, the option A, place A, is cheaper than place D, but because other criteria, we prefer to buy option D. So here this is the example we see that right now. Right now I want to show you for example, a new example. I open this Excel file. I want to clear the data. I want to insert my own data. So first I need to clear previous data. After I clear that, all will be deleted and the matrices will be gone and the sheet is empty. So now, for example, I want to find new job. Okay, I have three options. For example, organization A and organization B and company C. I can go work in these three organizations, and I want to choose which of them I want to go and work there. And there are some criteria that are important for me. For example, the revenue. Revenue is really important for choosing their job. The position that will they give me, company brand is important. If you want to work in an organization, the brand of this company is important for you. So for example, just these three criteria is enough right now. I want to select the new job, new organization to work with. I will compare this organization based on the revenue, which each of them to give me salary. For example, it's better to use the salary words. The position that they will give me to in each of them. For example, I can work here as a manager, or I will work here as a supervisor. And the brand of this company is more popular and more famous, company A compared to company B, and so on. So after I specify the alternatives and the criteria, I have to create pairwise matrices. If I select the pairwise matrices bottom, the matrices will be generated automatically, and after that the Excel will ask me, it's done right now, would you like to fill the matrices right now? If I say no, you can close the Excel and come back and fill the data at another time. But if you want to enter the data right now, you can say yes, and after that it show you that you need to compare salary to the position based on the goal. For this data, you need to insert the data for this one. Compare salary to position based on the criteria. For example, in most cases, the salary is really more important than the position. So I place 7 for that. And I say, okay, after that, I need to compare salary based on the company brand. So it's more important, I will say 6. And you need right now to compare position to the company brand. The position is much more important for me. For example, I will say 5. And after that, you need to compare each alternatives based on each criteria. For example, company A say that I will give you more. For example, 2,000 per month. But company B say that I will give you 1,000 per month. So company A is more preferred than company B based on the salary. So I will say that it's, for example, 3. And I will just fill the data randomly here for other alternatives. For example, if you want to end the work in the middle of entering the data, you will say, okay, cancel. And now you go back, you close the Excel. After a while, you come back and want to start to enter the data again. You can come here and insert the data by hand, manually, or you can use this button in the control panel, data entry wizard. So the wizard is come back and it say you need to enter this data for this cell. And it's, for example, it's 1. And if you want to analyze it right now, you can come back to the control panel and say analyze. If you analyze it, the AHP method will be run and it's calculate the weight of each criteria. This problem, and you can see the option A has more score and is preferred compared to the other options. You have to note that if you generate the pairwise matrices and you fill the data right now, for example, I choose to select randomly the data. If you fill the data, after that you complete the data entry, you will see Excel will ask you automatically, do you want to analyze now? If you press yes, it will analyze you and you don't need to go to the control panel. But if you say no, you have to go there and analyze it. Another time you can use the analyze. So if you press yes, the analyze will be done and you will see the result right after that. And another thing you have to note that is the inconsistency ratio. In AHP analyze, we will calculate the inconsistency ratio for each criteria and for goal and the total inconsistency. All of these inconsistency should not be more than 0.1, as the Society, the developer of the AHP, said that. And so if we will see, for example, the salary is not more than this threshold, it's okay. But in the position, as you can see, it's 0.70 is more than 0.1, so it's inconsistent, and you need to go and revise your answer for the position matrix, pairwise comparison position matrix. Okay, and also for company brand, it's more than 0.1, and you need to revise the values you have entered here. So for example, in the A, I will make it a little less, for example 2.5, and here as well I make it a little more less. So I revised my decisions and I analyze it again. So as you can see, the company brand inconsistency go below the threshold and it's well right now, but the position is still more than the threshold. And you have to notice that if the goal consistency become more than 0.1, you have to revise the criteria matrix data. And if the total inconsistency become more than threshold, you need to revise whole matrices. All matrices, the entry should be revised. And another thing you have to note is the method of calculating the weights. Here we use the arithmetic average method, and we simply come here. At first we calculate the summation of each column, and after that we divide this number to the summation. For example, if I want to calculate it here, you can say I divide the number to the summation of the column. It said it's right now it's normalized, and I will calculate all of this number in each row. For example, here these are calculated. This number is divided by the total, the summation, and as well as this one, we call this number the normalized values. After that we come here and make the average, arithmetic average of these values, and it's become the weight. As you can see, this is the method of the AHP. After we calculate the weights for each of the rows, we will calculate the total weights for each criteria. As you can see here, based on the AHP method, these are the total weights for each criteria, and after that we will calculate the alternatives scores. And after that, after we calculate the scores, we will calculate the inconsistency ratio based on the random inconsistency ratios. These are the number of the criteria. For example, we have three criteria right here. So the random inconsistency is 0.58, and for more than for example, here the bottom line is n 60 criteria, but you can have the more than 60 criteria. For example, you can have 50 criteria, but random inconsistency will be same 1.6. You do not need to specify the numbers of the criteria. If it's more than 60, the algorithm will be noticed automatically, and if you choose for example 20, 28, all number more than 60 will be assumed at 1.6, and you do not need to specify it here. So based on that inconsistency, we calculate the ratio, and we will calculate the total inconsistency, and this is it. So you can clear the data, previous data, you can generate the pairwise matrices, you can stop the algorithm whenever you want, close the Excel and come back and use data entry wizard as well. You can analyze it, and you can have a report. This report will generate the PDF file. First you need to specify the folder, for example desktop. Then you need to specify the name of this report, and a PDF file will be generated from this page. And you can go here, for example, in the desktop, open the report and see the PDF file which is generated based on this Excel. I wish this Excel file helped you a lot. Goodbye.